Jacob, you're making a great habit of selling properties under auction conditions. Another great property today you sold for $6.25 million.
Yes.
That's a huge result, mate. Talk us through the asset.
Yeah, so 118 Gan Gan Road, Anna Bay, 5 tenancies anchored by SPAR Supermarket, generating about $414,000 net per annum. For an asset like that, it's always interesting to see how it is presented by the market. And 56 inquiries we were really happy with that.
Yeah. So a fairly substantial asset that's still under auction conditions. You sold for $6.25 million. What does that reflect in terms of yield? And what are you expecting in the investment market in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, good question. So it reflected a 6.6% yield, which I've had a lot of people reach out to me today saying that is exactly where they thought that it would land. No one has a crystal ball. I think there's always investors in the market. It's always determined on interest rates, what the banks. In saying that, towards the end of this year and the start of next year, like I said, no one has a crystal ball, but there are always buyers in that investor space. And it's always depicted on, the quality of the tenant, the quality of the asset, the return, and even location. So,
yeah. If you had money to invest at the moment, anywhere between $1 and $5 million, where would you invest your money, Jacob? Where would you invest your money in commercial assets? What areas and what type of assets are you looking at?
That's a really good question. I feel the city fringe suburbs surrounding Newcastle are performing really well at the moment. We're seeing a lot of buyers starting to target that, Hamilton, those type of suburbs that are just outside of the CBD. And like Anna Bay was found throughout the campaign quite a regional suburb.
Yeah.
Although as Newcastle continues to grow and the Newcastle Airport going international, my feel for the hotspots as an investor would be to target those city fringe and just regional type assets that are sitting outside of the CBD.
Yeah, okay, that's a good comment. What I've found over the years is investors tend to go where there's tenant demand. Yeah. So is there tenant demand around that city fringe area? Or?
There is, and definitely we've seen that more than the CBD.
Okay.
So, keeping your finger on the pulse in the CBD market, there has been a slow turnover because there's a lot of movement. Okay. There's a lot of residential apartments going through the process of DAs, but the city fringe, we've had a lot of leasing transactions go through there, and there's been a higher demand for companies and businesses that want to set themselves up for future and just outside the CBD.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing your insights, Jacob. We've got another auction again in October, so we'll see you again then.